everyone, and welcome to another Countdown to the Fintech Talents Festival video. I'm Lisa Moyle, Director of Strategy at VC Innovations. And with the festival just a few weeks away now, I'm really happy to have with me today Steve Wishart, Director of Fintech at TransUnion, to talk about his views on Fintech and, of course, about the upcoming Fintech Talents Festival on the 15th and 16th of November at the Brewery in London. So hello, Steve. It's great to see you.
Hi, Lisa. No, good to be here.
So I hope, Steve, that we could kick off with you telling us a little bit about you and your role at TransUnion.
Sure. Yeah. I lead the fintech vertical for TransUnion in the UK. TransUnion is a global information and insights provider. So we support fintechs with their data and solutions requirements. We work with a wide range of finance providers, including challenger banks, alternative finance lenders, payment players, including buy now, pay later, and credit card providers. We support them across a number of areas, including digital onboarding and customer experience, creditworthiness and affordability, fraud and identity verification. We also work with startups in the UK, so we help them launch and we support their go-to-market strategy. We're very collaborative, in our approach. We try and mold our capabilities around our clients' requirements rather than a one-size-fits-all approach.
Fantastic. Great introduction. And on the back of that, it sounds like you're really well placed to share with us some of your views on some of the key trends that you see as disrupting the financial services industry.
Yeah, no, sure. In terms of what we're observing from a disruption perspective, we're still seeing new challenger banks enter the market. So we've seen that with JP Morgan recently launching Chase. I think there's still clearly, consumer appetite to have that choice in the market, and consumers are willing to step away from traditional players and products. I think for any bank that lands in the market, acquisition is really, a key priority for them. So we're seeing lots of incentives, I guess, being put in front of consumers to try and entice them to switch, and that's certainly driving some disruption in the market. I guess the other standout disruptor is buy now, pay later. It's firmly in the spotlight at the moment as it heads towards regulation. Growth has propelled it in the pandemic, and the unregulated BNPL market quadrupled last year. So we've been tracking that through sort of consumer sentiment and surveys, and our findings show that 4 out of 10 UK consumers used the BNPL product in the last 12 months, and the expectation is that growth will continue. So on a global level, we're expecting the market to grow by 10 to 15 times the size by 2025. So I guess from a BNPL perspective, it's proved timely in terms of, when it's landed in the market. Consumers' buying power has diminished somewhat through the pandemic. And again, through our consumer pulse surveys, we've been tracking that. And we've been able to see that consumers are being impacted, by the pandemic, and about 25% are still negatively impacted right now. Whilst regulation is on the horizon, I think the intention is that consumers will continue to use the many flavors of BNPL on offer. They've made that pretty clear. I think they're attracted to the flexibility, the ability to smooth the cash flow if it's adopted in the right way. It's convenient, it's easily embedded within buying journeys. And as we're seeing already, it's available on a lot of merchant checkouts. There's also a point of view whether BNPL could be a critical stepping stone towards financial inclusion, as it opens up more avenues to consumers that maybe need to access finance that they haven't accessed before. So, I guess just to follow on from that, I think the industry is trying to prepare for that change. Those who haven't got access to the data want access to it. BNPL providers themselves recognize there's a roadmap of change ahead, and they're trying to prepare for that. At TransUnion, we're working closely with clients in the sector. We're trying to help shape the credit reporting standards that are evolving with the BNPL products in line with the consumer needs and the regulator expectations. One thing that comes up quite a lot is proportionality. I think that's really important from a BNPL perspective. So, a BNPL payment, should not have the same impact on a consumer's credit score as maybe missing a mortgage payment. So we're spending a lot of time with BNPL players simulating how the data will impact consumers both positively and negatively, and to ensure it's well understood and it can be used effectively in real world lending decisions. I think as we come to terms with the financial shock of COVID-19, supporting customers and facilitating broader financial recovery is the priority. BNPL, that fills a need for consumers right now. I think it's going to grow while that financial instability remains. And it does offer an alternative, it offers another option. So, yeah, I guess there's more choice available for consumers. I think as long as BNPL providers, credit reference agencies like TransUnion and industry bodies, as long as we continue to work collaboratively to help navigate, a path to better consumer protection, we need more informed risk assessments, as an example, before products are taken out, and we need a more holistic view of an individual's financial situation.
That was a fantastic overview of the many issues and discussions to be had, particularly around BNPL and the potential impact on the consumer and potential regulatory initiatives on the horizon. So moving on, Steve, you will be joining us at the Fintech Talents Festival to look at digital transformation as a lifestyle. Do you think, in your view, that large incumbents will be able to make the internal cultural changes needed to really embrace a digital first approach?
I think, my answer is yes, they will be able to make those changes. Some of them are already on the way towards doing that. I think it's been taken out their hands a little bit by, it's been accelerated by the pandemic. The landscape of those digital channels has changed already. So I think adopting a digital first approach is not really a choice. It's something that needs to happen, if you want to move forward. We're seeing and hearing that as well, from business leaders. They understand there's a need to optimize their digital channels. And, our research that we recently ran with the Economist Intelligence Unit, we found that 83% of UK execs surveyed believe that smooth transactions are now essential to survive rather than merely a competitive edge or a nice to have. So many are making investments in that space, particularly in digital transformation. When we're speaking to the same cohort, 6 out of 10 UK execs, again, have called out the fact that they're ramping up investment in that space. So again, just to follow on from that, I guess the key considerations really when you're sort of walking into that space where you're re-engineering that digital strategy, what's important, you need to deliver faster and easier customer onboarding. So giving consumers safe and personalized experience is really important. And they've come to expect that in reality. And I think it's really about building deeper customer relationships as well. So that helps build trust. And we know trust has become a more and more differentiator for consumers. They're not just looking anymore at sort of the price of something. They want to be able to trust the companies they're working with. And again, just to, I guess, another couple of follow-ons in that respect, they also need to think about what tools they're making available to consumers. Consumers really want to take control of their finances. So, the tools that they want to look at is, how they can track their financial well-being through those types of tools, how they're performing. They want to take ownership of that. And they expect, personalized offers through those tools as well. Another call out is around Gen Z. Really, that's something that needs more consideration. When you're looking to re-engineer your digital strategy, it really needs to be front of mind. That population are, going to be the biggest cohort of UK consumers, shortly, and they'll have immense spending power. They're very tech savvy, so I think companies really need to be tuned into that. They're not just tech savvy, they are also financially savvy as well. So they're happy to move between brands. They've grown up in a time where technology and digitization, has exploded. We've seen the use of biometrics, AI, digital experiences. So that's become part of everyday sort of technology, and it does raise expectations. So as a result, I think Gen Zs are they expect innovation. To be fair, they're more than happy to be early adopters and stress test that innovation. And I think they push our industry to innovate at a faster pace as well. So I think that everyone wins in that respect.
Thanks for that, Steve. And again, you've touched on some really key issues that no doubt you and your fellow panelists will pick up in more detail at the festival. And finally, I hoped we could move over to talk a little bit about the experience. It's been a long time for many of us since we've attended a physical event and been able to meet face-to-face. And the experience piece has always been an important part of the Fintech Talents Festival, from the barista bar that TransUnion will be supporting this year to the live music stage, the craft beer bar. So we're all super excited about all the things that will be going on. But a question for you. So the DJ will be playing a number of sets across the 2 days. What song will you be adding to our playlist for the festival?
Yeah, I guess before I get to the song, I just wanted to echo your comments. Really, we've all missed those face-to-face events, and we're really looking forward to joining a fresh event, as well. And we can't wait to, see everyone at the barista bar. We'll have a stand next to the barista bar as well, and we're going to, hopefully try and connect with as many people as we can throughout the event across those couple of days. Really looking forward to it. Me and the rest of the team, we can't wait to get there, really. When it comes to the playlist piece, I'm not quite sure what genre the DJ will be looking to play. So, maybe I could get that one wrong. But for me, Coldplay have just recently announced a world tour. So I'm really I'm trying to get my hands on some tickets there. So I'll probably just opt for a classic Coldplay track, I think.
Awesome. Well, best of luck with the tickets. We look forward to hearing more from you and seeing the rest of the TransUnion team at the Fintech Talents Festival on the 15th and 16th of November at the brewery in London. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. And thank you to everyone watching.
Well, thank you. We look forward to it.